What is up, fanboys and fangirls? I'm back!
Thank God.
The jungle couldn't claim me.
Unfortunately
for someone here.
I paid a lot of money to that jungle. I'm honestly kind of disappointed. I thought it was a good investment, but whatever.
Get your money back.
I know, right? Now I gotta go
No
hunt
refunds.
the jungle.
No refunds.
I'm bummed I missed last week. Glad that it was a good show, though.
Yeah, Brandon was
even
a good guest.
without me. So
Yeah,
thank
it was
you,
a lot of
Brandon,
fun.
for coming in and filling in the chair, keeping the chair warm for me.
I kept the chair
Yeah,
warm.
Luke kept
too.
the chair warm.
Okay.
You know
I
what was really cool?
hated
though?
sitting in it.
You know what was really cool about it though? Because we've always talked about how find the person on the pod that you connect with their reviews.
Yeah, yeah.
And actually, Brandon connects with Luke, so it was like really cool.
Oh, nice.
Like he even acknowledged it. It was kind of neat. It was a cool little.
It's nice to know somebody agrees with my opinions of it. At least one.
There's one
Yeah.
person.
They bonded over both of them not liking Maestro.
Dude, did you guys watch the video I sent you today?
I did. It was hilarious.
It's
great.
just proof that Maestro is a bad movie.
1, 2, 1, 1.
I'm gonna have a panic attack. It's proof that it's a bad movie.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I've watched that
started-
video like 4 times.
I had my headphones in when I tried to hit play on that, and they didn't connect. So like it just
Just
booted up, and it was
blared.
like 1, 1. I was like, oh no.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah!
No,
Great
it was
stuff.
great. It was really good.
Two great musicians can't follow Bradley Cooper. So
Amazing. But yes, real quick, little update. I was in Peru last week on a
Whoa.
mission trip with my church. Had a great time. Missed being here with you guys though. So I'm glad I'm back. I've got a few bug bites.
weren't.
Gotta keep
you were in
taking my
that-
malaria pills for another a month.
Were you researching spiders
In the
in
Amazon.
the Amazon?
Yeah, funny enough, my coworker, she died.
Oh no.
Oh no. I hope she doesn't have a daughter that
Right.
will one day.
One day be able to travel through time, kind of, but never use it.
Yeah.
The movie that
Wait,
keeps
did I
on
just
giving.
made
Yeah, right.
myself the villain of this story
Dude, that
Yes.
movie's on digital now.
already?
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
It's okay. The internet will get it released back in theaters.
that's
I'm
right,
sure of
baby.
it.
Yeah,
It's
for
Morbin
sure.
time.
For sure.
It's
Um,
Madam Webbin time.
We should get.
Did I try a Peruvian puff pepper? I am not aware
That
that I
sounds-
drew any.
What is that a real
did
thing?
Is that a drug?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
Sounds like a drug.
In any case, it's it was great. I had a lot of fun. Got to meet some really awesome people, and
There's no way.
the
that's
Amazon River
not
is huge, guys. I don't think you really comprehend how big that river is.
Dude, I imagine.
Did you cannonball it? Cannonball in it?
I didn't cannonball.
Did you see any
it.
wildlife?
Very little wildlife, actually. Where we were at in the Amazon,
Researching spiders. Of
researching
course.
spiders. There were lots of spiders
Yeah, I bet.
and insects.
Oh, I imagine there's piranhas in the river.
Oh, no Drake and Josh fans.
Yeah.
Drake and Josh, I feel like was just a little bit at the end of my.
I would love Drake and Josh.
That must have been the Peruvian puff pepper must have been a Drake and Josh thing. 'Cause,
I don't remember.
sorry, Baroque.
We've failed you.
But I did get to go on a night boat ride
How many
down the river.
alligator eyes did you
With
see?
Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Emily Blunt. Little Jungle Cruise.
Little jungle cruise action. So I got to see some very cool snakes
Ew, gross.
and tarantulas. Some of those more
was,
nocturnal wildlife. A basilisk lizard, the run on water, the Jesus lizard.
Oh, not the giant snake.
Not the
in
giant
the Chamber
snake
of
from
Secrets.
Harry Potter. No, not that one.
Darn.
No,
I'm
sadly not.
glad I could clear that up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all I could picture.
It was a real concern.
Yeah. I'm glad.
But you could have. Now you can fight Horcruxes.
There was a boa constrictor in our
Constructor?
Constructor.
What was he building?
Hmm.
I didn't know that was a
A
thing.
giant
He must have been fixing
wooden horse.
He was in the roof, so he must have been fixing something in the roof.
Nice. What a guy.
Boa constrictor
There you go. That's
It's like,
the word.
You got a leak up here.
it was really cool because it was white.
I got it.
It was like white, and because it was at night, we had the flashlights. It kind of looked like white and gold. I'm sure it was like white and brown.
Yeah.
but
That's kind of neat.
it was.
It was
pretty neat.
where you slept?
like on the outside of the roof.
Yeah,
Did it
absolutely
cuddle
not.
you when you
It's
slept?
like thatched roofing though.
See, like,
I wish it would have. I would have loved that.
if I went to a trip like that and we saw that, I might die of a heart attack. like I'm not kidding. Like, I don't think I can explain to you guys.
Not a snake guy.
Not a snake guy.
Not a
Like,
snake guy?
struggle to walk through the snake area in the zoo.
Oh, no.
I think if I saw in the wild, I'd be scared for a little bit, but then my curiosity would take over because I think snakes are so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm so scared of snakes. It's stupid.
It depends if somebody would be like, "Hey, there's a snake over here." I'd be like, "Let's go look at it." But if I'm just walking and it just falls in front of me or something, I'd freak out for a second.
I like struggle to watch videos of snakes on my phone.
Hold on, I gotta
No,
show you something on
let's
YouTube real
Whoa,
quick.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Look at the background on my phone.
Is it a snake?
No, it's a bunch of galaxies in space.
See, that's cool.
Space.
It's
Final
the Snake
Frontier.
Galaxy.
Oh, got him! Yeah, I'm terrified of snakes. Anyways, carry on.
No, that's about it in terms of wildlife. There wasn't a lot there.
Did anybody fall in?
There were some people who jumped in intentionally.
And then got out really quick
Well, they were
as
near,
the piranhas.
they were near the shore, so
Oh, weak.
Just to
Yeah.
say they did it.
just to say they did it.
I get it. I'd have probably just put my foot in and walked
That's
away.
that's kind of what I did.
Yeah,
I
I'd
was
have been like,
I stood
"Eh,
there.
that's
I was
good."
like, yeah, okay, and that's enough.
It's still water.
I was every day we had like a 40-minute boat ride to the villages and a 40-minute boat ride back, and I was like, this is enough being on the river. I need to be in the river
Yeah. No. Nope.
with all of the other things that are in there. Actually, not very. It's big and it's moving lots of dirt, so it's brown anyways. But like,
You just can't see what's in
You
there.
just- you just know that it's dirty, and there's enough stuff even in the deep of the Amazon that you like it's polluted and nasty, and there's trash, and it's like, man, humans are the worst sometimes.
Sometimes.
Well,
All the times.
Yeah. All the time.
All the times.
say there's some pretty decent humans.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a few that aren't bad apples, but
Yeah, they're bad oranges.
that's right. They're bad mangoes. I had mangoes. Dude, the fruit, though, in Peru, very good.
Yeah, what was the cuisine like? What'd you eat most days?
Lots of rice.
Makes sense.
We had a variety of meat, a decent amount of chicken, catfish, some like steak. I don't know if it was. I mean, it wasn't like steak. Peruvian steak. You know, they don't feed animals in Peru like they do here in the U.S.
Yeah.
We had chicken wings one night at a restaurant, the last night, and the chicken wings were like this big. They're just little baby chicken wings, and I'm like, those are
They're not shoving
right.
steroids into
Growth hormones.
No,
nice and thin.
no, they're not.
Gotta sell these to B-dubs.
Well, in my defense, I like it.
But lots of fruits and decent amount of vegetables and root plants, yucca and
Rude plants?
root
Oh.
plants.
It's like, I did not miss these two goons.
You're just walking down the road. Plants are like, hey, you. I'm walking you.
Hey.
Walk somewhere else, you trampling.
Oh, God.
Rude
So
plants.
I ate very well. I did not go hungry.
That's
They-
good.
They fed us really good food. So grateful. And not that I'm aware of, no one on our trip really got sick. So like, huge blessing there. You didn't have to deal
Not
with.
even the people that jumped in the water.
Not even the people that jumped in the water. The worst.
I'm
were-
surprised that everybody else didn't get sick because I feel like that's what would happen. The people that
Right.
jump in are all fine,
Fine.
and everybody else gets Montezuma's revenge.
Yeah. No, the worst was just definitely the bug bites.
Oh
There
yeah, I
was
can see him from here.
Luke saw a photo of one of our people just had her all over her legs, and it's like, ugh. But that's why we take malaria pills.
Nice.
Yay!
Well,
Yummy.
welcome home.
Thanks. Underrated hot showers. I got very acclimated quickly to cold showers in Peru, but it's also like 90 degrees with 125% humidity there. So like cold showers felt great. Came back here and it was cold, and a hot shower was amazing. So
Dude,
thank
it
you,
was-
hot water
It
heater.
was cold today,
It's
yeah.
cold today.
It was.
Yeah. Strange. Strange.
Uncool.
It's not spring
Kansas. Uncool.
3
All
days.
right. Well, we can
Getting there.
move on with our show. Some trailers this week. Did hold on real quick though. Did you come across John Voight feeding people to a giant anaconda?
Was that in Peru though?
Probably
'Cause Peru's on the left.
Peru's, yeah.
I feel like they were heart.
Of like Brazil, maybe.
Ecuador.
I don't know.
You know what? My curiosity
Has
bulb
gotten the
gone
better
off.
of
Where?
Luke. No, and so what kind of the people who were at the hotel, our
Wow.
translators, were saying
The Amazon rainforest. Whoa!
Who'd have thunk it?
that's as descriptive as it gets. The Amazon rainforest.
It's
What
an
country?
American adventure horror film.
Oh, all right.
What country? Tropical South America. Ooh.
It's not going to give you this.
What?
What are we jumping into first? Trailers?
Sure, jump into some
Colombia?
trailers.
Colombia.
That was my Achilles.
Ecuador.
if you heard that.
Peru. Bolivia. Guyana. Paraguay. French.
Guinea.
Guinea. Trinidad. Could be any one of those.
Could be any of them.
So what trailers do we have?
I've got 3 written down. First one I have is The Crow remake.
Oh yeah,
Looks like Tyler's unimpressed by the Crow.
This looks bad.
trailer.
So
Man.
you've seen the original?
a long time ago.
So I find this
I've-
interesting.
I've
He
not
hasn't.
seen
Okay.
the original,
I have.
Uh-huh.
We both don't like the trailer.
No.
and I think it looks kind of fun.
Oh, that makes so much sense. It looks bad, dude. I think the biggest issue for me, and again, it's been a really long time since I've seen The Crow, but like anytime you're going to do something like this, I feel like the main objective needs to be trying to at least capture the essence of what the original was.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this does that at all. Honestly, this feels like a side mission for Jared Leto's Joker. And like you can remove the look, like even if you remove the look, but like just the way he moves and stuff, like
Mhm.
I don't know, I don't like it. I do not think this looks good.
Same.
That's fine.
I just think it's
It just looks like the same everything else.
the same action.
Yeah.
style?
Action
Yep.
kind of has hit a point. We haven't really talked too much about it, but I do think ever since John Wick,
Yeah.
we've kind of because we talked about it with
We did talk about it with
Monkey Man and that trailer, how it's just like, okay, it's all kind of starting to feel the same,
Mhm.
and we're due for a action movie reinvention
revamp.
of the wheel.
Somebody needs to do it,
Someone needs
yeah.
to do something that kind of says, oh, that's cool, and then we'll pivot. So yeah, I can understand that the action doesn't look like anything unique.
I don't know like what Bill Skarsgård's doing, but like he has Boy Kills World and this, and like
And both of them look terrible.
I
In
don't
my
think,
opinion.
Yeah, I don't think Boy Kills World looks terrible,
It's
but
mainly the voice.
I think it looks better than this.
It's mainly the voice.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me though, because I think it's the funniest part of Wet Hot American Summer. So I also liked Archer. And it's him, so
Yeah.
and it's Bob from Bob's Burgers. So
The other part with the Crow is just the circumstances with the first one.
yeah,
Yeah, which I wasn't aware of until you had kind
Yeah.
of mentioned it. So I can understand how that might make a remake tricky, I guess. At the same time,
we should watch The Crow together though.
I'd love to do that.
It's fun.
I'd
Yeah.
love to do that. Like, I also don't, I don't watch The Dark Knight and be like, no one can do the Joker ever again after Heath Ledger. I know it's different, but at the same time, is it? Like, is it?
Well, wasn't he like killed on set?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How did that movie even get released? That absolutely wouldn't happen today.
yeah. Well,
That
we're
would've
seeing
gotten
it in real time. Yeah.
Shut down and right, exactly. I don't know. Like, so
Yeah.
those kinds of things obviously don't bother me because haven't been exposed to that just because I haven't seen the film. So for me, this trailer is like, oh yeah, this is like a thumbs up. It doesn't, like you said, it looks pretty generic actiony. But I like the Skarsgård family.
Yeah, no,
And
I
I
like
think
the
that
Skarsgårds, and I think they're all great.
Bill's done
but-
good work, so like, I'm vaguely. It's probably not one I'll rush out to the theater opening night. I don't know when it's coming out. I don't remember.
It's
but-
one that I probably won't see unless the reviews are like insane.
Yeah, sure.
Like I don't know, man. Like I can watch the original.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds closed-minded, but like, this just doesn't look like The Crow.
There's a whole. Luke and I were kind of talking about this before the show. I'm kind of done with like fighting remakes. They're gonna happen. They always have. They'll continue to. Just do them well.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't have to be on board with a remake for just I hope it's good. Maybe a little different, but captures the essence because you're telling the same story to a new generation. I guess is kind of where I've fallen on that. And if you love the original and you don't want the remake, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
The original's
It
not going
doesn't
anywhere.
take away the original.
No. Yeah, I mean, I like Bill Skarsgård. I think he's a really good actor. But this trailer does not do anything for me other than say I probably won't watch this. So
That's fair.
I'm going to thumbs down this.
Yeah,
Me
that's
too.
fair.
So we should watch The Crow, though.
Yeah, let's do it.
We should definitely watch it. It's got a huge cult following for a reason.
Yeah.
What's next?
Pool Man, Chris Pine's
Oh, yeah.
directorial
directorial
debut.
debut.
This is a sideways thumb. I think I'm interested because I like Chris Pine in a comedic role. So,
I'm giving it a thumbs up.
I'll give it a thumbs up as well.
I think it looks fun.
Yeah.
I like the Fourth Wally snarky trailer
yeah.
where he's kind of talking to the movie attendee.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
thought
very
that
much
was
a
fun.
Chris Pine thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I look forward to it. I'd like to see more.
It'd be interesting. I always enjoy seeing more veteran actors do directorial stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, how does that translate? So, even more than the movie looks good and fun, which it does. I think it looks fine and it looks
I think it looks fun, yeah.
I think it's interesting.
What is that directorial style of his
Right.
going to be, and is that something I'm going to like? I don't know.
Right.
I do think it's interesting how I feel like a lot of the times it's somebody doing their directorial debut and also starring in it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that helps or if it's harder. It's like Michael B. Jordan did that for Creed 3.
Dev Patel did it for Monkey Man.
Yeah.
I
Like-
think there's a business Brett here. I think there's a financier. Ooh, excuse me, I'm spilling my drink.
Ooh, he's wasted.
Haven't even had a sip yet.
Have another
man.
one, Brett.
Haven't even drank any. Like, it's maybe a movie that they've wanted to make, but they can't quite get made, and so they might make it for a slightly lower budget.
So he just stars.
They do it themselves. They have a passion for it, and they want to stretch their legs directorially. That's kind of the vibe I get from most of these. It's not like their directorial debut is a Marvel movie, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully it is something that Chris Pine has a lot of passion for, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to watch
Hopefully
it.
it's great.
hopefully it's great.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it.
You okay over there, bud?
Yeah, it's kind of drooping on me.
We get a sandbag for it.
No, that's good.
We get a sandbag and hang it right here.
I'm okay.
Little weight, little clip-on weight.
Thank you, though.
Here, I'll just put my hand here.
Okay. What's next?
Rebel Moon 2. What's
Ooh.
it called? The Scargiver.
The Scar Giver. They say it like 4 times in the trailer.
The Scar Giver.
Listen, after we reviewed part 1, I had a bit of optimism at the end of the review.
You sure did.
You were like, oh, part 2, 7 Samurai. It's going to be a little more like that.
And it's still there. It's still there. There's a glint of hope there still. But I tell you what, man, watching this trailer really diminished that optimism.
That small bit of hope that
Just
you had
honestly,
in there.
it was after the first 20 seconds where I'm watching an action scene that isn't in slow-mo, which is like, oh, great. And it's just terrible. It's terribly choreographed. It looks so bad. They're doing the old boy cinematography, the hallway,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, the on
And it
tracks.
It just looks so bad. I got everybody with guns just not shooting their guns, and it's that's not a Zack Snyder problem. That's a Hollywood problem.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a good way to start off your trailer, and it'd be the first thing that I see.
Yeah.
And the dude with the sword is also backing up. Charge a gun, back away from knife. I don't remember what movie that was in. Was it Secondhand Lions?
Maybe. Man, that was a banger of a movie back
That
in
was
the
a
day.
great
That is a
movie.
good movie.
Oh my gosh. It has been a hot minute since I thought of that.
But
Look, Luke can talk his way around. This is a big old thumbs
Yeah, it's a
down.
thumbs down.
This
It's-
looks awful. Way to try to put a silver lining on it, and then, yeah, you didn't. You don't have to.
I did say it looks better than the first part. Not that that's a very high bar to clear, but
Yeah.
then I read a quote from Zack Snyder that says, "We were able to put all the character work in the first one, so the second one's just going to be action." I saw the first one. There was no character work. Not
did
even
he really
from,
say that?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Not even from your lead. And it's
I can almost guarantee he has never watched the cut that was released in December or whatever. He's only ever watched his director's cut. That was absolutely edited by someone in a room and producers.
you
So
know
there
what?
might be character stuff in the first one that's in the extended version only.
You can't get away with that 4 times in a row.
Oh, no,
You
no.
just can't.
I'm not.
Eventually, you have to
I'm
watch
not
every
giving him.
cut.
I'm not giving him. I'm not. To be clear, I'm not giving him a pass. I just that would be
Your guess.
on brand. I feel like for him.
You can't make every movie a bad theatrical cut and a okay to good to great, depending on who you are, director's cut.
Yeah.
For every movie.
It almost feels like he has put on my tinfoil hat here.
Ooh.
It almost feels like he makes his theatrical cuts worse so he can blame the studio so that his director's cut, which is also not great, but will get more credit than it's probably due.
Boy, he's gonna run out of studios fairly quickly. If he
And
keeps
he's
doing
moving
that.
he's moving through them.
If he keeps that up.
Moving through them.
Although to be fair, maybe Zaslav will want him back. Zaslav's likes it when you make bad movies, and then he can just shelve them for tax breaks.
That actually might get Snyder paid.
Yeah, might.
I saw Vero True Social on Instagram posted that it's 3 years since the Snyder cut today.
Today?
Mm-hmm. Apparently. March 20 or March 18?
Only 3 years.
Only 3 years.
Boy, it sure felt like longer than that.
The movie did.
Got him!
Zing!
And I actually don't hate that movie, but
I don't hate it. I just
different
don't.
conversation.
I just don't like talking about it.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 trailers I had, unless there is another one that you guys have?
There
Or
is
that
one-
chat might have?
I have one. The Greatest Hits.
I didn't see
Did
this.
you guys watch this trailer?
No.
It's a Hulu movie. You guys are gonna laugh when I say this, but David Cornsweat's in it.
Of course.
He's like the supporting, but I can't remember
Yeah.
the lead's name. But it's kind of this romance time travel movie. Essentially, this girl and Cornsweat, her boyfriend Max, get in a car accident, and Max
Lucy
dies.
Boynton.
Yeah, there you go, Lucy Boynton.
She's in Sing Street.
Okay, well, she's the lead.
Ah.
It's a music movie. It's called The Greatest Hits because Lucy Boynton listens to records, and those records teleport her back to those moments where she shared those moments with her boyfriend, and she's able to change the outcome of things through
Sounds like the butterfly effect.
through those. Kind of, yeah. People have called it the Butterfly Effect, the musical. It's apparently gonna have a really good soundtrack. I think it looks good. I'm gonna thumbs up it. I think it looks interesting. It looks different. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
Cool.
Need to check it out.
Yeah, it popped up. Cornsweat was promoting it on social media, and I was like, oh, nice.
And you're like, bro, where's the Superman suit, bro?
Not really.
That's what the internet was probably like.
probably. No, it was just cool to see him in something else because he's not in a lot. I mean, he's only got a handful of roles.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Pearl. He's in Hollywood. Now Superman, and then The Greatest Hits.
Mother of pearl.
But Yeah. We should check that trailer out after the show.
I think I have seen it. It sounds familiar.
It came out like last Thursday, I think.
I think I might have just seen it while watching Shogun, but I wasn't paying attention to it because it was a Hulu commercial. I was like, oh, I can finally go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, something that Luke and I both watched this week.
Heck yeah.
We can review here real quick.
You putting a spell on me? Hex, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Is Love Lies Bleeding. This is the new film from Rose Glass, starring Kristen Stewart and Katie O'Brien and Dave Franco and Ed Harris.
Ed Harris.
And apparently at the top of the list, Anna Baranishnikov, even though she's only in it for like 10 minutes. I don't know how she has first billing, but good for her.
Maybe she's a producer.
Could be.
Barishnikov?
Baryshnikov.
Barishnikov.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know Russian. Looks Russian. Sorry, Anna, if you're not Russian. Or if it's not a Russian name.
What's going on in my head? I've been planted here in Wichita, Kansas, of all places.
I can talk about this first because I think I enjoyed it a little more than Luke. I think this is kind of a fun, pulpy crime drama that is really kind of anchored by its leads. I think it has a couple, like the Kristen Stewart and Katie O'Brien do a pretty good job with this very interesting dynamic of relationship of a passerby or just kind of, falling for someone who, maybe isn't the healthiest person. And it's all about relationships and unhealthy relationships. And I think that's a really interesting, it's a really interesting story. It gets a little weird at the end, which Luke will talk about for sure. But it never threw me.
No spoilers, though.
Too far out of what it was, the emotion of what I think it wanted me to feel. I don't know if it has something terribly profound to say, but it definitely made me feel things. And so then in that sense, I walked away a more or less happy customer. I for the most part, enjoyed my time with this. It's definitely not perfect, and it has some really rough edges, but I think I don't know who to recommend this to necessarily. It is a pretty niche film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't say I had a bad time with it. Luke?
I didn't have a bad time watching it, and I don't hate it. And 90% of the movie is good.
Yeah.
95% of the movie is good. I don't know how to say this. I didn't really know what this movie was going in. Like, I'd seen a trailer, but it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I'll see it. My expectations, I think, were not wrong, but I don't think it'd be bad if I could kind of update them, maybe for some people.
Sure.
I don't think this movie's for me.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
But if you are like me and you're expecting kind of a pulpy, niche, crime thriller, for it to end like a comedy was jarring.
Sure.
This movie's very dark. It's very violent in moments, which was very cool. And then the last 10 minutes is so goofball. And it caught me so off guard, and I out loud was just like, what? Sorry, theater. I didn't mean to do that out loud. I was really caught off guard. And I'm not sure if I was supposed to laugh or not.
Yeah.
And the movie went from thriller in my head to comedy. And It sounds mean, I feel like, when I say that. But that's how I have to view it to like it.
Mm.
The ending was so stupid. And it ruined it for me. Pretty much.
I think there's an expectation when it comes to kind of pulpy action, drama, crime things of how that release is supposed to, the final release, right? Like we're all accustomed to either the big shootout or the, kind of tragic ending, and this, for better or worse, does not adhere to either of any of those kind of tropes. It tries to forge its own path, and I don't know if it worked in the sense... I know it didn't work for you. I don't know if it worked for me in the sense of I got that satisfaction of the kind of build-up of release, that tension, that the third act is kind of constantly kind of tightening the tension, right? Like, from the time the FBI show up at her door to...
The way you're talking is like the script in the movie. Like talking about release and tight, and it's just like, sorry, that some of the things they say in the movie is just like, okay.
It's a pretty sexual movie, too.
It is.
And it's rated R for a reason, so.
It is.
Just so you know.
And I laughed at some of the things they were saying. Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
But not lesbian though, so I don't.
But it does that in a way. So
about.
It tries to do. I think what I'm trying to say
American.
is like, Luke, I understand how that kind of an ending wouldn't work for you or a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, because it's very different. It's unexpected, and it's not what the movie, is hinting at during the first or second act really at all. It just kind of comes out of nowhere. To present this idea of... I don't even know how to describe it.
I think it was trying to say something. I don't know. I didn't get it. And what do you do if you don't get it? You complain about it, right?
I guess so.
So that's what I'm here to do. Yeah, I'll just say this. You have no idea how it ends. And I promise you can't guess. 1 out of 100 people, 1 out of 1,000 people will guess how it ends. Specifically.
Yeah.
Roger Rabbit shows up.
More believable, maybe. Just as believable. Kate Middleton showed up. Turns out she was there the whole time. No. Yeah. There are things I did like about it, though, that I actually thought were really good. I thought the cinematography was really good.
Yeah.
Thought it was a beautiful movie. The way I really liked the bits where it'd like flash back and it'd be like red.
Yeah.
I really liked those moments, and the kind of how it kind of like caught up to the same place they were currently, how it connected those flashbacks. But I thought that was really cool. I thought the music, both the score and just the songs they used, were really good.
Mm-hmm.
I did really enjoy that part. It's like, I don't know, I might even listen to the soundtrack this week because it was really cool. I think all the performances are good. I wouldn't say there's any that's like amazing.
No one's getting nominated for an Oscar for any of these performances, that's for sure.
I feel like I've been kind of hard on Katie O'Brien, like in Ant-Man and Andor. She's much better in this. So I guess did she die in Andor?
It was
Mando.
Mandalorian.
She's in Mandalorian. That's right.
Yeah.
So if she shows up in the Mandalorian movie, I think she'll be able to perform better with the Disney script that she's given, which probably don't help her at all. But yeah. Oh, Jenna Malone was in this?
Yeah?
I did not realize that she was Jenna Malone. I thought she was really good.
She was a very small but impactful role.
I think she was, mainly because I couldn't tell it was her, I think she was probably the best in the movie. I really enjoyed her.
Yeah.
Ed Harris is super bald but has the longest hair you've ever seen. If that makes any sense.
And man, Dave Franco, you just want to punch him in the face the entire movie.
Well, in real life too,
Just
right?
rip off that nasty stash of his and
Dude, the mullets in this movie were so gross.
Look, it's like
It's very intentional, but like,
yeah. It's like a shout out to hair and makeup and costumes,
Yeah.
but like they all looked awful. Like in the
best way.
possible way,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah,
they're
they look-
supposed to look like
they look really good, but they're gross.
yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I'm glad that style's gone, even
Yeah.
though I could probably.
I'll bring it back, Luke.
I'm almost there.
Bring back the
I'm
mullet.
almost there. I've never seen a Franco I didn't want to punch in the face. Oh, you're not wrong. I don't know. Do you have any more pros? I have some cons as well, but
I thought, as
besides the ending.
Sure. I thought the editing was pretty good.
Yeah.
From what, and part of that goes with cinematography. You have good shots and you have good editing, and hopefully it all flows well together. But around a lot of, you talked about like the flashbacks, and there's a maybe just one kind of fight scene. No, there's a couple conflict scenes that I think are edited really well. They don't ever last long. It doesn't suffer from the action movie choreography that we were talking about earlier.
Gliding camera.
But yeah, no. Go ahead, hit me with your cons.
Not your mic. Hit Brett with your cons.
Cons. Well, I already talked about the ending. The sound editing. When you punch, it doesn't sound like you're punching a mud puddle. Like, it sounded like a zombie movie. Like, it's like... Like, when you're watching Stranger Things and it says squelching, that's the subtitle it's going to be in this movie. It's not going to say punching, it's going to say squelching.
Ugh.
It's like, give me a punch sound.
There was one moment where that was probably accurate and, like, it worked.
Yes.
But the rest, no.
Also wasn't punching.
No, it wasn't.
But, like, when she's at the show and she's punching a person and it's like is she just hitting the oil on the person? Like, and so
the point was their muscles are so big.
Yeah.
She doesn't even get to the...
That was an interesting choice. Whenever she shoots roids in and she's like working out and her muscles get big, you kind of squelch there. But like, I mean, they're punching. Like, give me a thud. It doesn't have to be the Indiana Jones iconic punch noise. Like, just give me a... No, I don't need a mud puddle. And then, like, guns, too. It's like Call of Duty sounding guns.
Like the clack, clack,
They sound
clack.
like plastic.
Yeah.
Clickety-clack.
Which is weird, because in the beginning of the movie, they're at a gun range, and they're super loud. And then later, there's a gunfight, and it's like airsoft. And they're inside a building. It's like, let it ring. Let it hurt my ears. So, sound editing. I feel like I don't usually have to bring that up as a complaint.
Yeah, not often.
Usually it's the mixing. They should be separate awards. Academy.
You mean those are different things?
Very.
We're on a 3-episode run here. Talking
Should I
about
just
that.
talk about it every week?
Every week.
Until the Academy somehow made us just see this?
Do you have another con?
Oh, no, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys gonna rate this bad boy?
I'll give it to Matthew McConaughey.
I'll give it a Matthew McConaughey. It's pretty low, though.
The end will probably bring it down for a lot of people. And I think that's fair. It didn't really do that for me. But it didn't elevate it to something. Sometimes you watch an A24 film, kind of semi-indie film, and it's like, oh, that crazy ending made it better. And I don't think that's the scenario here. I don't think it makes it dramatically worse. I just think it's more of like a WTF? Okay.
It's just, if you would have done a normal ending, I think it's a really fun movie.
That's so weird.
And
It almost feels like
just
they did
compared
it
to the rest
'cause-
of the movie, it made no sense. So I just need I just need somebody to tell me why I didn't get it.
I think at the end of the movie, at the
I'll
end
listen.
of the day, just don't do steroids.
Yes,
That's the message of the movie.
steroids bad.
Steroids bad, but sometimes help you get out of a situation.
Unless your doctor is like, here's some steroids for like your allergies. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
those steroids good.
But only with prescription from your doctor.
No,
There's rules, people.
not the manager at your local gym
Hmm.
who's also trying to
Is that why that guy's been talking
hook
to me?
up with you.
Where you want
Spoiler
it.
alert.
In the butt.
Okay, we can move on. That's enough of that.
So many quotes I can't say on this show.
We don't have a rating, but we're also like not trying to get a rating, so
Yeah.
we'll just leave those for
Off air.
the internet will provide at some point.
The memes.
There might be a mashup on Twitter.
Yeah,
All the-
exactly.
Interesting dialogue lines.
News. Do we
Dude.
have any news this week?
We got to talk about the Pooniverse,
Oh.
which sounds like it might fit within the movie you guys just watched, but that's not what we're talking about.
This is the creator of the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey films.
Yeah.
Is creating a shared
They're creating a shared universe.
of beloved children's characters.
It is
As-
called the Twisted Childhood Universe
Oh,
from
Lord have
Jagged
mercy.
Edge Productions.
You know what the good thing about this is? They might have just killed it.
Maybe.
I think this announcement just made people go, oh,
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
You're trying to make it a thing. I make it a thing.
right,
I, the fan,
right.
make it a thing for you. Like, if they just would have all of a sudden made Bambi, and people were like, oh, they're doing another one, and then they just show up Avengers style, because maybe they are all successful. They all made $5 million on their $3 million budget. Sure. But this feels very Dark Universe.
My favorite
Yeah.
comment is from someone named Reiki. I'm anti-public domain now. So these are the movies announced. Like, if you can't tell, we all hate this. But the Twisted Childhood Universe. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which came out. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Bambi, The Reckoning. Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Pinocchio Unstrung. And then Pooniverse. That's a name. Monsters Assemble. And all of these will be out by next year.
Those things aren't even related.
No.
They're just public domain.
Yeah. Yes. Twisted Childhood is
Like, if you're gonna do the Pooniverse, make a Pooh movie. Make a Piglet movie. Make an Eeyore movie. Then it's the Pooniverse. What the freaking crap is Peter Pan doing here?
and Pinocchio and
Oh.
Bambi.
Dude, these might be the dumbest
Public domain projects ever.
creators ever. Just calling them out. This is stupid. Like, you can do so much better. Put your brain to think up of something new and different.
The
No,
comments
bro, get that money.
the
Oh my
comments on
gosh.
these posts
This
are
is so
pretty
I agree
Pretty
with you guys, though.
down.
I think that it may have killed some of these projects, for sure.
Oh, I don't think they make it past Bambi.
Someone said, "No, because what do you mean this isn't a disbussing film tweet?" And everybody's favorite thing about this is the Pooniverse name.
The name.
And then
Ugh.
this one says, "It's once again not the parody account."
It's just another example of fans, like, kind of embracing this fun little thing and a studio in quotation marks, ruining it. It's like, thank you.
Thanks, studio.
Thank you, now we don't care. Absolute.
I'm saving this.
That's great.
Oh,
That is mine now. Save
Wow.
photo.
Ugh.
Wow.
But yeah, DOA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pooniverse.
It's a thing.
It's funny to say.
So we know that the Knives Out deal with Netflix has gotten one more film with Ryan Johnson over at Netflix.
Oh, that's still happening.
His production company signed a 2-movie deal with Warner Brothers this week. So he's going to make 2 movies for Warner Brothers.
No, he's gonna make one. One will be shelved and sold for tax
a tax
fraud.
write-off.
So he's making one more with Netflix, 2 more with Warner Bros.
Yeah.
What happened to the Star Wars movie?
It's on
Ice?
indefinite hiatus.
Dead.
I mean,
It's dead.
it's dead.
It's right next to Taika's. It's dead.
It's dead.
It's right next to the Benioff and
Why?
Weiss.
Weiss D&D. It's dead.
It's dead.
They're all laying there in a row. Dead.
Yep.
Right next to the Pooniverse. Dead.
But apparently, Rogue
name
Squadron
Pooniverse.
is back in production.
Apparently,
So
Well, Patty
that's
Jenkins
what Patty.
doesn't look anything.
At least Patty Jenkins thinks it is. There's been no confirmation from Disney Lucasfilm,
Ooh.
but she's working on it.
Yeah.
Might-
Yeah, it'll be an interesting.
Might just become a fighter pilot movie at some point.
They just get.
And that's what
Tom
Top Gun
Cruise to star.
That's what Top Gun Maverick was. It was just Star Wars.
It really was.
They do a trench run, shoot a missile into a little hole, blow up the Death Star. Great movie. It was awesome.
it is.
It worked.
Yeah.
And they just need to do a Star Wars in their Star Wars.
They just need to remake Star Wars and then just add double beach football,
There you go.
but in the Star Wars universe.
There you go.
So beach pod
the-
racing. I
The
don't know.
cantina is on a beach this time.
No, it's pod racing, but shirtless. Shirtless pod racing.
It could just be a pod race show, like a car show.
Oh, there you go. They
Like,
have their
come
pod
check out our
racers.
vintage pod
They have
racers.
their pod racers sitting out.
No.
It's
We can
working!
go to Naboo and do an underwater Gungan
Race.
race. That way we get more Jar Jar.
There you go.
Can I just have?
That'll make the fans
Can
happy.
I just have the next animated show
Fans
be
what
a
they
pod
want.
racing show?
Dude, that'd be fun.
That would be fun, actually. That seems like a great idea.
Write that down.
Now they gotta do more things with
Take
clones.
that, Pooniverse. We
gotta-
got more better
We
ideas
gotta
than
do.
you.
We gotta do more things with clones, Luke.
Well, obviously Ray the clone is driving the pod racer.
Well, moving into the next thing, because I know we would love to get together for a watch party for all of this, but Twitch is ending this. Prime Video watch party feature will be leaving Twitch on April 2nd.
Wow.
Never used it.
What is
Yeah.
that? I don't even know what that means.
You used to be able to, like with friends, link your Prime accounts to watch like you could basically
Start the movie at the same time.
yeah, and watch it together.
You know that thing you can do with your cell phone?
Or Discord
3, 2, 1.
play,
Cool.
yeah. Like that.
Oh, cool.
They had like a integrated feature for it.
Good work, Amazon.
So that's going away.
You did it.
Probably was created around the same time the pandemic, and that was popular then.
Yep.
For a few people, and it never gets used anymore.
For Jeff Bezos.
For
Bezos was like, this is so cool.
I failed to mention it, but we're getting an Acolyte trailer tomorrow.
That's right. We got a poster today.
Yep. Pretty cool poster.
Very cool poster.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're supposed to get trailer, so we'll talk about that trailer next week.
They've been hyping this one up.
I know.
Not like with marketing, but with just the way they talk about it.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see what this is.
I
What if it sucks?
Classic question before every Star Wars project. What if it sucks?
I'm going to ask it before the Pooniverse, too.
Are we going to watch the Pooniverse?
No.
Brett and I will go watch it.
I'm not watching a slasher universe. I have so many more better things to do with my life.
But you could watch a slasher universe with your two best friends.
You don't want to see Tinkerbell rip out Captain Hook's throat? Come
What
on
if
now.
Brett and I just get tanked drunk and watch it, and you just go with us?
I think I'll just go home.
He would even stay to be our DD.
Yeah, we'll just Uber. Will you come pick us up and take us home?
Yeah, I'll come pick
Okay.
you
Oh,
up.
okay.
Well, that
one of
counts.
you. I wouldn't have to pick. How about you just come to my place?
And rent it at your house?
Yeah, then no, because
And
then,
then we
I'd
have
have
to
to
stay.
take
We
you.
have to stay the night. No, this sounds even
Sleepover.
better.
Okay, now you've convinced me.
Pooniverse watch party.
But after the Pooniverse, we're watching Buckaroo Banzai.
Okay.
All right.
It's probably part of the Pooniverse too.
I haven't seen any Pooniverse movie, and I know that Buckaroo Banzai
Dude.
is better.
I just cannot, like, Pooniverse is just... It
Kinda
sounds like
addicting
the
to say.
name. It sounds like the name of an adult video store in Vegas. Like, oh, you guys gonna swing by Pooniverse later? Like, no.
By the what?
Like, oh, it's
Ooh,
just so
no.
funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
No, thank you.
Did you have more stories?
I have.
'Cause I
I'm
have
just
some
on the
too.
IGN page.
Oh, I have some I can
Yeah,
do
go
real
for
quick. ScarJo in Jerwo. Didn't land. Scarlett Johansson in Jurassic World 4. Just crickets on that.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that in the
Yeah.
story. Granted, I was
I think
off
it's
the grid.
Talks.
Yeah,
or
she's
whatever.
rumored to be
Okay.
the lead for it.
Maybe she's just playing the dinosaur.
MCU, baby. Gotta poach those actors and actresses. I had Chris Pratt. Now it's ScarJo's turn.
I won't judge it until I see it. No, that's a lie. I'll prejudge it.
Can't help it.
You lasted all of 4 seconds there.
Speaking of things that Brett's going to prejudge, Ready Player 2 confirmed to be in
Oh
development.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
that
the
movie's
thing.
gonna
That's
suck.
right. You were in
Spielberg
Peru.
is producing, not directing.
Did they say who's directing?
No.
You've read the.
I have read the book.
right?
Yeah.
Will the book and the movie be different, though, you think?
I don't think so. The book is written to be a movie.
So that's right. I do remember. you
Spielberg
mentioning
helped
that.
Klein finish
So
the book.
The first one, how does it compare as a film, as a representation, as like an adaptation of the book?
It's good.
It's good.
It doesn't do a lot. It does like nothing that's the same, but
Yeah.
it works. The
Do you think the second one being written more as a film will help it be a better film, or will it make it? Does that make sense?
I like
My
Ready
question.
Player One a lot, so that's a hard question to answer. But I think what they're doing in the second book is kind of it's not a race, right? So it's just a very different kind of
Sure.
story.
Okay.
Is it a pod race?
Is there pod racing?
It's working!
But I think it will. I don't know. I think it'll work. I think it'll work better. Yes.
So
to
you're
answer your
telling me-
question,
Okay.
because it's written with that in mind, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the first one, I don't think was written with that in mind.
Yeah.
Maybe it was, but not in the belief that it would ever get done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, whereas this, it was like, oh shoot, the movie came out. I need to write a second book because we're gonna do another movie.
I feel like just writing the book was a way to get around all the licensing stuff.
Also, that probably. It's a good point. I do want to loosely spoil something from the second book, but there is a world that is centered around Prince. Prince.
Like Purple Rain?
Yes.
Oh, Prince.
Yeah. And it's really cool. And I hope they do it. But I don't know how they'll do it. It's really neat.
Would they have to resurrect a person who has died?
Potentially.
Warner Bros. Is 100% doing it. They're
All
100%
in.
doing it.
You mean there's an opportunity for them to use AI to bring Prince back?
They're asking for zero permission and they're doing it.
Yeah. That's
It's
a
already
really good
done.
point.
In fact.
It's the trailer's already out and it's just Prince.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see how they do it.
DC news coming at you.
Oh, yeah.
Batman 2 delayed.
A year.
Whole year.
Oh, sadness in my heart.
Take your time.
This is sad, but it's okay because at least we'll have the Penguin this year to tie us over
That's
Yeah.
true.
for 2 years.
Nah, it's not enough.
Love
But
that.
At least it won't be 5 years. Though it'll be
I'm
2.5
curious,
and 2.5.
Where are they at with photography on that? Have they started
No.
shooting that yet?
I think Penguin
Is it a
just finished.
scheduling? Do we know if there?
So I think it was part of it was scheduling it, and part of it was some of the writer strike stuff pushed it.
pushed it.
pushed
I
their-
can see.
their
Okay, I can see
pre-production.
those things.
With Reeves,
Frasier's coming back though, right?
that's my understanding.
Okay.
I don't. Obviously, that means nothing, but
Not nothing, Tyler.
but like with Matt Reeves' process, I'm not surprised that the strikes did a number on him.
Sure. Yeah.
He's kind of, after listening to him talk on Deacon's podcast, like,
yeah.
he's one of the directors I think would take the biggest hit from something like that, because
Mhm.
he's very much a, like, I need to touch this every single day
Dude.
kind of person.
Yeah.
And not being able to do that, I think probably screwed him up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Greg Fraser. But, like, what if he couldn't come back and they just got Roger Deakins?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not going to say no.
I'm not saying no to that.
That would be wild.
He's just like, yeah, I'll shoot a Batman movie for you.
That'd be sick. Other DC news too.
Yeah, a Teen Titans movie was confirmed to be written by the same writer as Supergirl.
Anna Noguera.
Sure. You said it, not me. I don't know how to say it.
Mm-hmm.
She's writing Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Cool. But also, I'd kind of like to see Supergirl before I can really have any opinion. I don't know. Teen Titans are cool, but I'm just here waiting for the first movie to even come out.
Yeah. How many
or show.
How many ensemble DC films will we have had by the time Titans
that comes out?
The Authority.
Creature Commandos is a show?
Animated show.
Animated show, so it
it's
should
The
feel
Authority.
different enough from that. Okay, so not too much? Probably.
I can't even remember everything that's been announced so far.
I know, right?
But I don't know. There's been so many versions of the Titans. It's kind of like, okay.
I could see the Titans, honestly, being a little bit like what Guardians was for the MCU. They're obviously two very different universes, like what the DC universe is going to be going forward and what the Marvel universe has been. And so I'm not coming in and saying they're going to be these off the wall, it's going to be this funny thing with all of the music and stuff like that. But I just think, I feel like
it could be.
It could be. But I wonder if that's going to be this, like, kind of out of nowhere film that no one was expecting to really be that good, that ends up being, like, kind of
The best one.
at least for the average fan, like the one that they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, of course we saw that because of X, Y, and Z.
Did you just call the fans average? AKA, did you just call them dumb?
I said average fans, not DC fans.
He's calling you dumb. He's calling you dumb.
No, but yes.
With that, honestly, I was really shocked this wasn't announced sooner. I felt like this was like a 150% without a doubter from James Gunn as soon as he took over.
Mm-hmm.
Felt like Teen Titans had to happen, especially with where they're placing Batman at in his life cycle and the Bat family already existing. I feel like this is just their way to kind of give it some background.
Nightwing or Robin?
I think it'll be Nightwing. If Damien's already running around, I think it's Nightwing. Which will make a lot of people really happy.
Do you think Tim will be Robin or Red Robin?
In Teen Titans?
In the universe. Because they all have to have a different name now. They can't just be Robin.
I guess Red Robin then.
Yeah, because Damien is confirmed.
Yeah, and he's Robin. Assuming they're going to use him as Robin, I would think they would. Unless that's his coming of age, like turning into Robin's story.
Yeah.
In which case, then I guess Tim could be a part of that in a way. I don't know if they want to crowd that though. Ouch.
Careful, child.
Yeah.
Bro, don't hurt yourself.
But I am curious what they'll build that team out to be, what that roster will be.
Nightwing.
Has to be Nightwing.
Beast Boy.
Raven.
Starfire. Cyborg.
You think they'll use Cyborg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one I don't think they'll use. I don't know why. I just don't think they'll do it. I hope they do, but I don't think they will.
That is like the Teen Titans, though.
It is.
And James is
he's kind of a purist.
he's a purist.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing, and I believe so. Tom King is who wrote Superman: Woman of Tomorrow. I also think he just recently finished up writing Teen Titans. So maybe James Gunn really likes Tom King's work, because he also did Miracle Man. And I know that James Gunn is obsessed with Miracle Man.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll do Miracle Man, though. At least not for a while.
Miracle Man or Mr. Miracle?
Mr. Miracle, sorry. I don't know why I was saying Miracle Man.
I was like,
but Mr. Miracle.
trying to remember. I think I read this.
Yeah, Mr. Miracle, sorry. Because Gunn talks about that a lot. So,
Great comic.
very good. One of those ones that the ending does land.
Yeah.
The ending hits you like a ton of bricks, and you're like, oh, snap.
I feel like, now I'm depressed. Thank you, comic book. This is supposed to be fun.
So
And it
good,
was. I have no more stories. New stories.
Cool. Did we have any fan box questions? I think
Do you
I
need me to
saw
make one
anything
up?
in the chat.
I can make one up.
Sure.
All right. So there was a video that IGN posted. I didn't watch it. But on the title card, it says, a lesson Hollywood needs to learn. And it's a picture of Godzilla from -1.
Uh-huh.
And I'm assuming it's talking about the VFX
Mm-hmm.
and its budget. So I'm just curious, what lesson does Hollywood need to learn from last year?
From 2023.
From 2023. Or, you know what? Gaming devs, too. Gaming studios. Words.
I think the lesson that Hollywood needs to learn is that not everything has to be a sequel or a prequel or a part of a universe.
So very similar to what I was going to say. But what I was going to say is I think Hollywood needs to learn that less is more.
Yeah. Yeah. To go alongside of that, I think, and it's not obvious when you think of, like, the big Oscar noms, right? But, like, I do think, like, along the lines of less is more, like, we can make movies for $80 million. Right? Like, just because it's Martin Scorsese does not mean it has to be a $200 million film.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that we're still in the era of COVID really screwed up budgets. Like last year, that was still a thing, right? Where they had to dedicate a ton of resources to making sure that when they were filming these, that things were safe. I don't know how the unions have voted on certain things with, you know, some of those requirements, but I do think that we're getting to the point now where we can hopefully those aren't being the kind of financial burdens that they were 2 years ago. So yeah, make movies cheap again.
Yeah. What about you, Luke?
But maybe not Pooniverse cheap.
Or maybe.
or maybe.
$1 million.
I don't know.
I think mine would be you can't force success onto something. Like the consumer dictates that.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like what you were saying.
Yeah, but I think like Hollywood, yes, they're gonna try and do a Barbenheimer again, and it's not gonna work.
Yep.
But I also think that does go over into gaming. A live service only works if I play it and pay for it too. And if everything becomes live service in the gaming,
there's not enough money to go around.
Yeah. I'm not gonna pay 8 live service games.
No.
I'm gonna play 1.
Right.
I do play 1.
I also play 1.
Yep. You play 1. Unless you want to come back.
I don't know.
Free update in April.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Live stream tomorrow.
Might
Destiny
be
2 Into the Light. Oh, please don't suck. There's only a year left in Destiny's life. But no, like, you can't be like, oh, it's a live service game, and we're gonna make this much money off of it. Says who?
Yeah, you can't bank on that.
Right.
Says who? This kind of goes into budget too. Oh, this is a huge IP, $300 million budget. It's going to make so much money. Says who? Movie was garbage. It was terrible.
Yep.
Oh, this is a huge IP, and we're going to put it on our streamer. It's going to do great. I already paid for this month. So you earned nothing from me for this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as far as gaming industries go, to not take yours, I think the thing they need to learn, and I don't think this is just a last year thing, but I think you can see it. When you take away exclusivity, everybody wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's an excellent... Man, that's wisdom right there.
It's just like you see it when PlayStation put the show on Xbox, because I mean they were forced to, but it's doing great, right?
Yeah.
Like it's making a ton of money. When what was I looking at the other day? I saw it on the PlayStation store and it was an Xbox game.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Hi-Fi Rush will be there soon if it isn't already. It's just a win for everybody.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy coming to Xbox. That's a good thing. You know, the Final Fantasy devs are going to make a ton more money now. Final Fantasy 14, the online game, going to make a ton of money now. It gives games new life. Timed exclusivity, I used to hate. Honestly, I'd be more okay with it now. Like, if you want to, like, Deathloop was on PlayStation for a year before it came to Xbox, and it found new life again for a little bit on Xbox. Just the more things that can get into more hands, it's good.
Mine would be, we need to rethink the business of a studio, of a game studio. Either we need to unionize certain kinds of developer roles, right? Or studios themselves need to build themselves in such a way that you're not constantly firing people at the end of cycles.
They become mercenaries.
Yeah. Right? Like you there's value, and I think we've seen this in a number of the Japanese studios, of having people there for years that know the systems and know the engines and know things, teams that aren't 600 people large that are rotating out, you know, people just because so many are contractors and they can only work for 6 months at a time before they go somewhere else, and then they have to learn a whole new system and you need to train a whole bunch of new people on this system. And it's like it's more affordable when you're writing that check for a paycheck, but it's like the cost benefit analysis cannot be so good that you're like, this is beneficial for the studio and the company and the game in the long term. I just can't believe that.
And the people.
And the people. Right. People aside, like, the people, that should be the most important thing. But aside from that, like, from a purely number standpoint, like, I can't believe that that's not a thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not more of a
No, I agree with you. I think they need to learn how to have some empathy. You know, maybe that'd be good in 2024.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe we can all learn a little bit of that.
Or just even remember why they might have gotten into games in the first place.
Right.
I need...
Or movies.
Yeah. I don't know how, because it seems like, when we've kind of talked about this, it's happening in the movies, it's definitely happening in games, but entertainment as a whole is becoming kind of, if not monopolistic, there's just a couple pillars, right?
Yeah.
And I think we're going to get to a stage, if nothing changes in the industries, in the next 5 years, where we'll be at a tipping point where people who, I just hope that there's the possibility, right? Like there's the possibility that if these things like layoffs keep happening, that there can just be, quote unquote, a rebellion, right? Like, okay, well, guess what? We're not coming back to any of you all. And they can figure out a way to start their own company. indie filmmakers can find a way to make their own films. Like, filmmakers have been doing this for years, and there are obviously small indie developers who have done stuff like this for years too. I hope that there are resources that can make that more viable in games, in films, so we can... There just needs to be a reinvention of the wheel, unfortunately, because the current wheel is going to jump off a cliff for whatever reason. Tax write-off purposes.
It's going to roll off a cliff.
Tax fraud.
Money laundering.
Money laundering.
Yeah, that was a good question, Luke.
Thanks.
Thank you, Luke.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you,
good.
IGN.
Thanks, IGN.
I'm not going to give IGN a thanks.
Thank you, that person.
Oh, yeah, we
They're
did.
part of the problem.
We didn't
Thank
mention
you.
Rooster Teeth was closing.
Thank you, that person at IGN who posed the question.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know your name.
I didn't
watch the
mention
video.
that Rooster Teeth is shutting
Rooster
down.
Teeth is shutting down. They've been owned by Warner Brothers for a while, apparently.
Weird.
Huh. And they haven't been profitable in like 10 years.
Not as
So-
weird.
That's not as weird to me. I don't know how they got budgets to do what they did,
Yeah, right?
but again, I don't know business. It sounds like you just invent money and then you make things and you pray people don't notice the balance in the bank account. Did I
Well,
figure
you
out
can
how to
just change the
Did I
number.
just figure out how to do business, Luke?
No comment.
Okay.
I think all I had ever watched of Rooster Teeth was like the first couple bits of Red vs. Blue.
It was their kind of cornerstone for a while. I think they did a D&D thing at some point.
They did. They'd have like special people
Yeah.
on.
Oh.
Inside Gaming.
Yeah.
Was
Speaking
theirs.
of D&D, did you guys see the thing I sent you today?
The Lego thing.
There's some Lego announcement of D&D coming out.
Yeah.
And so I think they'll just have minifigs and creatures and stuff that you can just build.
Be sweet.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I'm buying a kit and I'm building my character. Oh, yeah, baby.
You're buying a kit and building.
Oh, yeah, my character's name's Kit. That's funny. No pun intended.
Sweet.
Gosh, I wish I would have intended it. Would have been so much better.
Would have been.
Well, is that it?
I think that's it for news. What'd you guys do this week? Real quick.
I played
before we end here.
Helldivers.
Tyler is deep into the
Helldivers
trenches
and
of-
Rebirth, man. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Still just having a grand old time.
Nice. Nice.
And I'm also watching Jury Duty with Dana.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of a big thing on social media 2 years ago? A year ago? 2 years? I don't know. COVID's weird.
Whenever it came out.
Yeah.
May have been 2
And,
months ago.
basically, if you haven't watched it, it's a dude who thought he was doing a documentary about, you know, the act of jury duty. But they put a bunch of actors around him. And so, like, they have to act basically for however long the case goes. I think it's like an 8-day thing.
Interesting.
And, like, James Marsden is in it as himself.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, there's some pretty goofy stuff. However, like, and Dana gets mad at me all the time, but I'm like, there's no way he doesn't know. Like, and apparently he truly didn't know. I'm sure that was in his contract. But, like, there's actors in this that are, like, legit, like, in things.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see him be like, oh, that's what's her name from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Or,
Right,
like,
right.
you're like, oh. They actually had to, on the first day, there was a guy, trash can dude from Parks and Rec is in it.
Trash can dude.
I can't remember his name. But they find out, this guy, like, they find out he's a big Parks and Rec fan.
Oh.
So they actually, like, change this dude's makeup from one day to the next so that he won't notice him.
Oh,
So they,
that's
like,
funny.
put a beard on him and, like, made his hair longer.
That seems fun. What's that on?
It's on Freevee.
Freebie.
I'll show you some clips from it. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous. And it's really fun to watch with Dana because we just both laugh the whole time. So
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Luke?
I did 2 things. Finished 2 things. First thing was Masters of the Air. Finished.
Oh, yes.
So I've watched all that. It was a really good show. good and fanboy worthy. I think the first 3 episodes, they're good, but they kind of struggle at first. It's a lot of, hey, here's our characters, but we're at war, we're flying. Not almost made it back. Like, that's the first 3 episodes. And then the rest, kind of starts the war narrative. Like, hey, what are we doing here? I'm a prisoner of war. I'm in the middle of the capital of Germany, what's called Berlin. I need help. Oh, the resistance. Like, things are actually happening. And I think it ended really strongly. The last couple episodes were really good. Had me crying at the end. I've definitely put it up there with the Pacific for quality. I think the Pacific might be better still.
Yeah.
Obviously nothing's touching Band of Brothers.
Same show.
Never thought it would
same
be.
showrunners as the Pacific, right?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
It's Cary Joe Fukunaga, who did True Detective and No Time to Die.
Okay.
I
thought it was
but like
the same team.
it's still Spielberg and Hanks producing.
Okay. Same producers. then.
But yeah, it was really good. I would like to see another version of this show again, like in another place or another time.
Yeah.
Like maybe a Navy or like how do they deal with submarines? Kind of like what Greyhound was. I think that'd be cool. Like see what kind of other stories are out there. The other thing that I did, I've been kind of waiting to do this for a while, was play Immortals of Avium. It was a magic first-person shooter.
Yeah, EA original.
Yeah. It's by Ascendant Studios. I think they're ex-Call of Duty devs, and they formed their own little indie studio. And they made this. It's pretty good. It's fun. I watched a review by SkillUp, and I honestly think he nailed it right on the head. And it's a great game to play in between games.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. Like you're shooting magic at things. It's a Call of Duty campaign. For the most part. It's got giant big sequences. Like there's a bit where you're on a ship in the ocean, but your ship is actually a giant robot thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Like you're not on a boat. You're on a giant thing. It's so cool. Like there's so much cool imagery. The lore is awesome. Which is honestly, I think one of the reasons it probably wasn't successful. I don't know if people are willing to just buy into something new a lot of the times. They're like, oh, I'd rather have God of War
3,
7,
6.
whatever they're on. Or, some other IP, something they're used to.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if Zelda was brand new today, it's like, man.
Would people play it?
Would people play it? I guess, and if it wasn't Nintendo. But, I thought the world they made was super cool. The shooting is really fun. I think it feels pretty good. I think they could have turned up the aim assist a little bit because you can't aim down sight. You just
Oh yeah, so it's like Doom.
You just shoot yeah. But you have 3 guns. You have your blue, which is kind of like a single fire scout rifle thing. You have a red magic, which is like your kind of shotgun, and you have green, which is like your machine gun, your AR. And it's fun. It feels good. I think where it kind of loses me is it's got a half open world.
Oh.
Like you can explore. You beat the game and you can go explore the world.
It's like the whole region based thing.
Yeah. You have skill tree. You find gear. Which not that that's bad, but it's like I'm gonna put on the best thing. I don't really care what it looks like.
It's first person.
Number goes up.
The old gear score.
I don't think it's something it needed.
Yeah.
I think you could have polished more into the graphics or the writing. with some other things, or just even more into the gameplay. I think the movement, you feel really slow a lot of the times.
Oh, really?
Um,
Because I thought the trailers looked fast.
like you have a grapple you can use sometimes, and you have a dash. But if you're out of dashes, you kind of just have to shoot.
Yeah.
And it sometimes it can feel clunky, but you know,
It's an indie.
yeah. I also really liked the music. It's like these either chill or cinematic trap beats.
Okay.
I thought it was awesome.
Not what I was expecting you to say.
I spent
but...
Thursday and Friday at work just listening to it and just kind of like jamming to it. It was really cool. But yeah, it was fun. I give it a Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
If you
Like a stronger one, or just
right
dead
down
center?
the middle,
Okay.
just
Right down the middle.
right down
All right.
the middle.
Nice.
The-
Did you buy this?
I bought it.
Okay.
The reason I bought it was because it was a Game Pass deal. It was $8.
Oh wow.
So I was like, heck yeah, I've been wanting to play this. I was kind of just waiting for it to be on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just have it. I don't know if it's still a deal or not. But if you just want to play a game that'll take 15 hours and that's it. Could take longer if you want to explore a little bit. I never really did. There were some puzzles. I'd see them and I go, cool. And I just keep moving. It was fun. The set pieces are awesome, especially like the last couple missions, like the one starting with the giant, I guess it's probably an automaton, just trudging through the ocean, and you're just in this giant battle. Like from that point on, everything just gets crazy. The imagery is so cool. I thought it was fun. I think some people will get a kick out of it. I don't know who really. But yeah, a game to play in between just these giant RPGs.
Yeah.
It's just like, I just want to shoot stuff. Cool, I got a new sigil. Oh, what's this one do? What's this one do? I like this one more. That's it.
Nice.
It's fun.
Sweet. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Cool.
Brett was in Peru.
I was in Peru. The one thing I did right before I left for Peru was watch Spaceman. The Adam Sandler Netflix Spider movie. It's weird. I feel like it could have been more interesting without a giant spider.
Just a person?
I feel like it was just if the other thing was just if the spider's an alien, so like I don't know. I think there could have been something there that wasn't quite. It didn't quite.
Just should have had Paul Dano.
Yeah, put Paul Dano in there as
Is he
another.
who voices the spider?
Yeah, as another astronaut, and the same things that Adam Sandler is going through could have happened. It's based on a book that has a giant alien spider as well, so like I guess I get it. Stay true to the material, but I don't know.
What about Paul Dano is a spider, but it's still Paul Dano? He just has 4 arms and 4 legs and picture mouth, but it's Paul Dano face.
Yes, 100% all the way.
That'd be crazy.
Less
weird than Love Lies Bleeding.
Somehow.
Okay, not really, but
I think it has moments. It has really sweet moments. It has some moments of Adam Sandler doing really good acting, but ultimately doesn't quite land the plane where it needs to for the film that it's trying to be. I'll give it a straight to streaming.
So it's where it should be.
Yeah, I think so. If you've seen a trailer and are like, that sounds vaguely interesting, I mean, I wouldn't say don't check it out. But if you've not into those kind of deep philosophical, lonely-esque questions about the world and the universe, like, that's what it is.
I want to watch something where I feel lonely. I can just go home and do that. Oh! Self-zinger!
Got him. But yeah. Other than that, yeah, was in Peru. So I'll hopefully have a little more to talk about next week.
And somehow,
catch up on some stuff.
The thing you reviewed still involves spiders.
It
I think
did.
he was researching spiders in the Amazon.
Spiders
He
are a big
was.
part of my life now.
Whoa.
Well, you have to like do random flips and stuff.
Hey, Spider-Man, do a flip.
You're gonna see me break my back if I try and do a flip. It's okay, Wesley's not that far away.
I was gonna say you're not too far from the doctor. So.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I'm about to fall asleep
Yep.
sitting here.
Thank you all for hanging out with us this week, watching or listening to the podcast. We'll be back next week, all three of us again. So,
Yes.
see you then.
Goodbye.
Bye.